Hello students. So in the last class, just we have discussed the types of movements and the types of locomotion which are exhibited by different animals. Then we have studied regarding the muscles, what is muscle and the types of muscles. Then we have discussed the structure of actin and the myosin, right? Structure of actin and myosin. So you already know that in the structure of actin, so generally it is made up of two spirally beaded like structures which are twisted around like a double helical, and it is having a troponin on their surfaces and the tropomyosin. Then myosin, the structure of myosin, just forgot to say yesterday. So myosin, it is a thick filament, actin it is a thin filament. Fine. So in the myosin, the filaments they are also polymerized proteins, and many monocentric proteins are present, that is commonly known as meromyosins, which is generally consist of one thick filament. Okay, then each meromyosins there has two important parts. One is the globular head, short arm and the tail. Head region is present, and short arm and the tail, these are the regions or the parts which are associated with the structure of myosin. Then comes the another two important parts which you have to know in the myosin is that one is the former, it means it begins with the heavy meromyosins, that is HMM, and later, that is the remaining part, it is made up of light meromyosin, that is commonly abbreviated as LMM. Fine, HMM and LMM. HMM, it is generally made up of head and short arm which projects outwards at the regular distance and the angles from the other to form the surfaces of the polymerized myosin, and the remaining globular head is an active ATPase enzyme, and it is also made up of binding sites for the ATP and the active sites for the actin here. Okay, this region is completely made up of heavy meromyosin, and this is made up of light meromyosin. So structure of actin and myosin is very important to understand the mechanism of sliding filament theory. So sliding filament theory, it is also known as mechanism of muscle contraction. So here what happens in this theory means the thick filaments slide over the thin filaments. Okay, thick filaments slide over the thin filaments. So what happens in this mechanism means how the muscles will get contract. So generally the mechanism of muscle contraction it is explained by sliding filament theory, which states that the contraction of muscle fibers it takes place by sliding of thin filaments over the thick filaments. Okay, here you can see that this is the representation of sliding filament theory. So here we'll get that how the thick filaments they are sliding over the thin filaments. Thick filaments will slide over the thin filaments. The sliding filament theory of muscle contraction, generally it is proposed by the AE and HE in 1954. According to this theory, during the muscle contraction, the actin filaments slide inward on the myosin filament. So what happens here? The actin filaments slide inward on the myosin filaments of A band. So A band ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಫಿಲಾಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಯೋಸಿನ್ ಫಿಲಾಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಹೌದಾ, ವಿತ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜಸ್ ಟು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸಾರ್ಕೋಮಿಯರ್. With the help of the cross bridges to reduce the length of the sarcomere. Here you can see in this representation how the actin filaments are binding to the myosin filaments. Actin filaments during the muscle contraction, the actin filaments it will slide inward to the myosin filaments of A band, which help to cross bridge to reduce the length of this sarcomere. Then the muscle contraction is initiated by this signal which is sent by the central nervous system via motor nerves. So after the crossing between the actin and myosin, what happens here, the signals are sent to the nervous system for the muscle contraction via through the motor neurons. Fine. Then what happens? The neural signal reaching these neuromuscular junction or the motor end plates, they releases the neurotransmitters. So when these signals, when it will reach to the neurotransmitter, neuromuscular junction, so generally they will release neurotransmitters which generates an action potential. ಈ neurotransmitters ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ it will generate an action potential in the sarcolemma that spreads through the muscle fibers and causes a release of calcium ions into the sarcolemma. Okay, so here you can see there is a cross between the thick and thin filaments, that is actin and the myosin, in between the A bands. So what happens here, the crossing will takes place, then the signals are sent to the central nervous system via motor neurons, then the neurotransmitter junctions, here the acetylcholine will be released, then the cross which here you can see here, just will slide, it will move, the muscles will get contract, the formation of cross bridge will takes place here. Okay, so after crossing what happens here, generally these muscle fibers they cause the release of calcium ions into the sarcolemma. The calcium ions will be released into the sarcolemma. Okay, next what happens, these calcium ions they triggers the muscle contraction. Calcium ions they triggers the muscle contraction process, and the actin and myosin they gets combined in the presence of ATP. The actin and myosin will get combined in the presence of ATP here. Okay, the actin and myosin they gets combined in the presence of ATP and the calcium ions from the acetylmyosin to provide the contraction in the muscles. What happens here, actin and myosin they are combined in the presence of calcium and the ATP to form actomyosin. Okay, this provides the contraction in the muscles. Hope you are understanding. So what muscle ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ವೆನ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಯೋಸಿನ್ ಎರಡು ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎರಡು ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ವೆನ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ಅಯಾನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ATP ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್. ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ಮತ್ತು ATP ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಮಯೋಸಿನ್ ಎರಡು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟೋಮಯೋಸಿನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, okay, then what happens next, so during the glycolysis the breakdown of glycogen takes place in the muscles, the lactic acid and energy is released. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, breakdown of glycogen ಆಗ್ತದೆ, then takes place in the muscles and the lactic acids and energy are released. The energy released is thus it is used for, first one, it is used for the reformation of keratin phosphate from the keratin, and 4/5 of the lactic acid is converted back into the glycogen, and remaining 1/5 is oxidized into carbon dioxide and water. Then during muscle contraction both H and I zones they progressively shorten eventually and disappear. Then a length of A band remains unchanged. Then the distance between the two lines shorten and the size of sarcomere decreases by 60 to 70%. Okay, so here you can see this is the original length. After the shortening the length will become shortens, where the H bands will get disappear. Okay, fine. So next comes the major types of skeletal muscles. So again here in the skeletal muscles based upon the sarcoplasmic content, situation of nucleic acid, the number of formed elements, there are two types. fibers are recognized in the striated muscles. They are white and the red fibers. So two types of muscle fibers are present. One is white muscle fiber and the one is the red muscle fiber. Fine. So muscle fibers naga ಎರಡು ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಒಂದು white muscle fiber ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು red muscle fiber ಅದ. So white muscle fiber ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದ? White muscle fiber, they are fast muscle fibers. So generally they lacks the myoglobin. So myoglobin is a pigment which is present in the muscles. Fine. Myoglobin, and they have the fewer mitochondria. They have got less number of mitochondria, and these muscle fibers perform fast work for the short duration. White muscles, what they will do, they will perform the work only for the short duration, as a result of which these fibers they get fatigued quickly. This muscles ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದ, they will work only for the less time. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಜಲ್ದಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಟಯರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. they get tired. Like for example eyeball muscles and flight muscles of sparrow. Fine. So ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, immediately we will blink our eyes, right? So that is because of the white muscle fibers. So what happens in white muscle fibers? So generally this white muscle fibers, they lacks myoglobin, and they work only for the short period of time, and they get easily fatigued, right? Then red muscle fibers. So these red muscle fibers, they are slow fibers possessing the red hemoprotein. They have got red hemoprotein, myoglobin protein, and they have got more mitochondria, abundant mitochondria are present. And these muscle fibers can perform this slow sustained work over the long period of time without getting fatigued. Okay, they never get tired, they keeps on working. Like for example exterior muscles of back and the flight muscles in kites. Fine. So these are the major type of skeletal muscles. Hope you understood this slide. Difference ಎರಡರದು white muscle fiber ಮತ್ತು red muscle fiber ಎರಡರದು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಹೋಪ್ ಇದು ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. Next comes a very important part of this chapter, that is the skeletal muscle. Okay, skeletal system, it consists of framework of bones and a few cartilage. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೀವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಡೀಟೇಲಾಗಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿರಿ ಮತ್ತು ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಎಕ್ಸೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಟು ದಿ ಬಾಡಿ ವಿ have a skeletal system, right? So skeletal system, what does it will do? It is mainly consist of the framework of bones and a few cartilages. Framework of bones and cartilages. Okay, then the bones and cartilages they are specialized connective tissues. The former they have got a very hard matrix due to the calcium salts in it, and later they slightly become pliable matrix due to the chondrion salts. What the salts will do means generally they helps in increasing the flexibility of the bones. Fine. Then the skeletal systems are commonly divided into three parts. So one is external skeletal system, that is exoskeleton, then internal endoskeleton, then fluid based, that is hydrostatic skeleton. So these are the three types of skeletal system which are present in the body. Skeletal system naga ಮೂರು types ಇದಾವೆ. ಒಂದು exoskeleton, or it is also called as external skeleton, and another one is the endoskeleton, or it is also called as internal skeleton, and third one is the hydrostatic, or it is also called as fluid based skeleton. Fine. So these are the three types of skeletal system. So we'll see one by one where they are present and what are its functions. So first one is the exoskeleton. Exoskeleton, it is found in both invertebrates and vertebrates. Exoskeleton ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದ, ಬೋತ್ ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ನೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ನಾಗೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೀನ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಹೇರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿ nails etc. It is hard, protective and the supportive framework which is present outside the body. Exoskeleton ಏನು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, exoskeleton it will be hard, then it will give protection to the body, then it gives a supportive framework which is present outside the body. A proper ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಅದು ಬಾಡಿ. ಫೈನ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಎರಡೂದು ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ನಾಗೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಇನ್ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ನಾಗೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತು ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ನಾಗೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ ದೇ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಹೇರ್, ಸ್ನೇಲ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ. Next is the endoskeleton. So endoskeleton, it consists of those hard parts which are present inside the body of the animals. This skeleton, it is found in corals, echinoderms, vertebrates, etc. Next, hydrostatic skeleton. So hydrostatic skeleton, they are located internally in cnidarians, annelidans and those animals which can move by contracting the muscles, and generally they are surrounded by the fluid filled pouches, creating a pressure within the pouches and they causes the movement. Some animals generally they move by the contracting the muscles, right? So again here in human skeletal system, so generally it consists of 270 bones which are fused to become 206 bones, out of which 6 bones they occurs as a ear ossicles, and remaining 200 bones they are divided into axial and appendicular skeleton. Fine. So complete the skeletal system, it is divided into two parts. One is axial and the one is the appendicular skeletal system. Okay. So this is a complete division of human skeletal system. Just you can have a glance in the human skeletal system. So human skeletal system, it is divided into, first region is the skull. Okay. Then pectoral girdle, this region, or the shoulder girdle, then upper limbs, then lower limbs, pelvic region, this is the pelvic region. Then here you can see the vertebral column. So let me make this little bigger. Okay, now it's clear still. So here you can see the vertebral column, and here this is the pelvic girdle or the hip girdle, and this shoulder part, it is known as pectoral girdle, and this complete upper portion, it is the skull. So in skull we will be studying two types. One is cranial portion and the one is the facial, that is bones which are present in the face, this facial portion and the cranial portion. Then in the pectoral or shoulder girdles we will be studying the clavicles, scalpel. Then comes in the thorax part, we will be dealing with sternum and the ribs. In thorax we will be dealing with sternum and the ribs. Then the upper limb, humerus, ulna, radius and the carpals, these are the hand limbs, upper limbs. Phalanges means fingers. Then lower limbs, femur, patella, tibia, fibula, tarsals and metatarsals and phalanges. Carpals and metacarpals in hands, and tarsals and metatarsals in the legs. Fine. These are the different types of bones where we will study in detail now one by one. So first comes the axial skeleton. So what are the types of bones which are present in the axial skeleton? We'll see. So axial skeleton, it comprises of 80 bones. Okay. And they are distributed along the main axis of the body. So axial bone axial skeleton ಒಳಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ? 80 ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ, ಹೌದಾ? Again these 80 bones, they are distributed along the main axis of the body, like skull, vertebral column, sternum and ribs. These are the axial skeleton. Skull ada, vertebral column ada, sternum ada, ribs ada. Generally they are constituted of the axial skeleton. So one by one we'll see in detail. First comes the skull. So again here in the skull, the skeleton of the head is called as skull. Okay, skeleton of the head is called as skull. So it consists of two main parts. One is cranium and another one is face. Cranium and the face. Okay, so skull ಒಳಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ? 2 ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಫೈನ್. ಒಂದು cranium ಅದ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು face region ada. So again this cranium bones, it contains sinuses. These sinuses are the air spaces which is lined with the mucous membrane that reduces the weight of the skull. What they will do, they are generally made up of mucous membrane which reduces the weight of the skull, and it gives resonant sound to the voice. Fine. This cranium, or it is also known as brain box, cranium brain box antanu karitara. Again, it is formed by it is formed of 8 bones. They forms the hard protective covering for the brain. This cranium, what generally it will do, it forms an hard covering for the brain cranium or the brain box, which commonly called. Then the facial region is made up of 14 skeletal elements, which forms the front part of the skull. Okay, so front part of the skull ಒಳಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ 14 skeletal elements ಇರ್ತವೆ. And the single U-shaped bone, which is called as hyoid, is present at the base of the buccal cavity, and it is included in the skull. Fine. So this is a complete skull. This is blackened one, this is colored one. So in skull you can see what are the different types of bones are present. This upper is a frontal bone, this is the parietal bone, temporal bone, occipital bone and occipital condyle, this one. And here is a hyoid, U-shaped bone. This comes in the facial bone only, U-shaped hyoid. Then mouth parts is mandible, and upper region is a maximal, maxillae. Then nasal bone and eye bone is a lacrimal, this is the eye region. Then ethmoid and sphenoid, here is a sphenoid. Okay, so these are the different parts of the bones which are associated with the skull. This is a human skull. Fine. So in the human skull mainly it is consists of 2 parts. One is cranium and another one is the facial bones. Fine. So again in cranium it is consists of 8 bones, and the facial it is having the 14 elements, and the single U-shaped bone is called as hyoid, which is present here. Okay, hope the skull is clear to you. One is cranium and another one is the face bones. So next comes the vertebral column. So again here in the vertebral column, or it is commonly we call it as the backbone. Fine, presence of backbone, or we call it as vertebral column. So it is a string-like vertebrae which extends in the mid-axis of the back, posterior part of the trunk from head to lower inferior. Here you can see. I'll come to this later. Meanwhile, let me explain. So here you can see that the vertebral column, it's commonly known as backbone. It's a string-like vertebrae which extends in the mid-axis of the back, posterior part of the of our trunk from the head to the lower part. Fine. And extremities of the trunk. Together with the sternum and the ribs, it forms the supporting framework of our body. It generally helps in providing the framework to our trunk. Okay. Then each vertebrae has a central hollow portion. Each vertebrae, it is having central hollow portion or the neural canal through which the spinal cord passes. Spinal cord will pass through each vertebrae which is having the central hollow portion. Fine. It supports and it rotates the head, suspended the viscera, protect the vital organs, and it provides attachment to the limb girdles, and it facilitates some of the movement of the trunk, houses, and this trunk and the spinal cord. Houses. Fine. Then the vertebral column, it makes 2/5 of the total body weight. So again here in our body, the 2/5 part of the total weight it is mainly because of this vertebral column. Okay. So ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಹದೊಳಗ 2/5 part weight ಎದುರಿರ್ತದೆ ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರಲ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ಲಿಂದನೇ ತೂಕ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಹೌದಾ. ದೆನ್ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರಲ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 71 centimeter in adult male and about 61 centimeter in adult female. Fine. The vertebral column is differentiated into following bones. One is cervical bones, it is having made up of 7, thoracic bone 12, lumbar bone 5, sacral 1 it is fused, and Coccygia, one fused, and the region starting from the skull. Fine. So in the vertebral column, these are the different types of bones which are present. So vertebral column ಒಳಗ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಏನದ ಸರ್ವೈಕಲ್ ಅದ. ಸರ್ವೈಕಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ 7 ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಥೊರಾಸಿಕ್ ಅದ. ಥೊರಾಸಿಕ್ ಒಳಗೆ 12 ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಲುಂಬಾರ್ ಒಳಗೆ 5 ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ 5 ಲುಂಬಾರ್ 5, ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಲ್ 1 ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರ್ತದ. Then coccygia 1, it is fused, and region starting from the skull. Fine. So these are the different bones where you can see in the vertebral column. So we'll see one by one. Cervical vertebrae. So cervical vertebrae, the number of cervical vertebrae, they are 7, and it is almost all the mammals including the human beings. 7 vertebrae are present. They are seen in almost all the mammals including human beings. You can see a this is the cervical curve, this is a thoracic curve, and this is a lumbar curve, and this is the sacral curve. Fine. Then there's a sacral vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae, this is the lumbar vertebrae, sacrum, and coccygia vertebrae. Fine. Next comes the atlas vertebrae. So this atlas vertebrae, it is a first cervical vertebrae whose body is formed of vertebral arc and the transverse process. Okay, this first atlas vertebrae, the first bone ada illi cervical vertebrae ಒಳಗೆ. ಇದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನದಂತ ಅಂದರೆ it supports the globe of the head like the earth by the atlas. ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ನಮ್ಮದು ಗ್ಲೋಬ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಡ್ಡಿಗೆ ಅದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. Centrum and the neural spine are absent, and the transverse processes are along with the transverse foramen. Okay, so you can see this different parts. So this atlas vertebrae. So next comes the second cervical vertebrae is the axis vertebrae. Odontodia processes and dents are formed here. It is modified from the centrum of the atlas. Then odontoid process, it fits into the canal of the atlas. It fits into the canal of the atlas. Okay. Then it provides the head into the sideway rotation. Transverse processes are small. Next, second one is thoracic vertebrae. Thoracic vertebrae centrum is Achilles, and the neural canal is formed by the union of 2 neural arches. So generally this thoracic vertebrae, it is formed by the union of 2 neural arches. This neural spine is a flat and the long. It is directed backward, and the club shaped transverse process is present. The club shaped transverse process is present. Neural arch is formed with superior articular process. Neural arch is formed with superior articular process, and 2 demophysites are for articulation of head, and the ribs are also present. So again you can find the spatial adaptation is seen. So generally this thoracic vertebrae, it will help for the articulation of head and the ribs. Head of the ribs are present. Next comes the lumbar vertebrae. So lumbar vertebrae, the centrum is here. The centrum is Achilles. The neural spine is well developed, and the transverse processes, they are thin and long. Then the small accessory process which is present near the root of each transverse processes. It is the largest, heaviest, and the strongest vertebrae, as they bear the weight of the abdominal viscera. Okay, generally you can see that compared to all, these bones are the longest, they are the largest, heaviest, and the strongest vertebrae, as they bear the weight of the abdominal viscera. Fine. So this is the lumbar vertebrae. Next comes the sacrum vertebrae. This is the thoracic vertebrae. This is the lumbar vertebrae. Next I'll deal with sacrum vertebrae. So sacrum vertebrae, it is a triangular bone which is formed by the fusion of 5 sacral vertebrae. Okay, then the fusion normally begins between the 16 to 18 years of age and is completed by 30 years of age. Okay, so the fusion ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ generally 16 to 18 years of age and is completed by 30 years of age. It serves as a strong foundation for the pelvic girdle. It will provide a strong foundation for the pelvic girdle. Sacrum with 4 pairs of anterior and the posterior sacral foramen is found. Okay, here you can find the 4 sacral foramen is present. Then the lateral part of this sacrum articulates with ilium, the hip bone. In female, the sacrum is shorter, wider and more curved between the sacrum 2 and the sacrum 3. Okay, I'll just show this image later. In females, what happens, this sacrum, it is very much short, wider and it is curved between S2 and S3 bone, whereas in male sacrum it is the longest, narrower and it is less curved. Okay, in some birds, some of the vertebrae they are fused to form the synsacrum. ಸಮ್ ಕಡೆ ಅದು ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಸಿನ್ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಥೊರಾಸಿಕ್ ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಲುಂಬಾರ್ ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಲ್ ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರೆ which will form 1 or 2 caudal vertebrates plus 1 or 2 caudal vertebrates, you know. Okay, so these are the different forms and means different types which are consist of the sacrum vertebrae. Okay, of this sacrum vertebrae is clear. So what happens in the sacrum vertebrae? So generally the fusion will takes place, fusion of 5 sacral vertebrae. One is the last thoracic vertebrae, one is lumbar vertebrae, then sacral and 1 or 2 caudal. Okay, that is a fusion of 5 sacral vertebrae. So this fusion generally it will takes place between the 16 to 18 years of the age and it's completed approximately 30 years, which helps in providing the strong foundation of the pelvic girdle. Okay, so ಇದು sacrum vertebrae ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ it is generally formed by the fusion of 5 sacral vertebrae. 5 sacral vertebrae fusion ಆಗಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ sacrum vertebrae ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದು, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ this triangular bone of sacrum it is formed by the fusion of last thoracic, lumbar, sacral and 1 or 2 caudal vertebrae. ಇವೆಷ್ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ sacrum vertebrae ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ coccygis vertebrae. So generally it is formed by the fusion of 4 coccyglia vertebrae. Coccygis vertebrae ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ by the fusion of 4 coccyglia vertebrae. The fusion generally occurs between 20 and 30 years of age. 20 and 30 years of age nega this fusion will occur, and it is a small triangular bone and the last section of the backbone. This coccygis it is the last section of the backbone. So here you can see that this is the cervical vertebrae, this is the thoracic vertebrae, and here you can see the lumbar vertebrae. Then this is the invertebral disc, and this is the sacrum vertebrae, and this is the coccygis. Okay, so in this slide you can see the vertebral column and the bones of the vertebral column, that is cervical vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae, then sacrum and the coccygis. 5 different types of vertebrae you can see, and this coccygis it is the last. The sacrum is formed by the fusion of 5 sacral vertebrae, and this coccygis it is the last part of the backbone. It is the last part of the backbone. So this coccygis vertebrae it is formed by the fusion of 4 coccyglia and vertebrae. So generally it is a small triangular bone and the last section of the backbone, and 2 coccyglia, that is cornea projects up to the articulate with the sacral cornea. Okay, the transverse processes are rudimentary. Here the processes are rudimentary. So here you can see the human sacrum and cortex. Sacrum and cortex ne bones fusion agidala. Last part of the cortex. This is the sacrum, transverse line, anterior and posterior foramen. Okay. Next, the human vertebral foramen. So far we have discussed with all these vertebrates, that is sacral, thoracic, lumbar, right? Then cervical. So all these bones considering, we have got in human vertebral formula. This is a human vertebral formula. C7, T12, L5, S5 and CD4. Fine. So these are, means all these bones of the human vertebrate. Okay, this you have to keep in mind. Cervical bone, thoracic, lumbar, sacrum and the cortex. Okay, next comes the function of the vertebral column. So it's a function of vertebral column. So again here you can see that it is to carry the weight of the body during the motions as well as while standing, and it gives the flexibility to one animal during the movement of head. It will also provides the flexibility for the movement of the head. So vertebral column is very much important and it has got very important functions. First ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, it will help to carry the weight of the body weight carry ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ during motions, and also it will help during the standing, ಅದು help ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, and it will give the flexibility for the animals during the movement of the head, right? Then the displacement of vertebrae from its normal position due to the displacement and the disintegration of the part of intervertebral disc, which is called as slip disc. Okay. Next comes the sternum. So what is sternum, and we'll see what are the different types of bones which are present in the sternum. So meanwhile, just you can have a glance once all the types of bones. So far just we have discussed regarding the vertebral column bones, right? Cervical bone C7, thoracic bone T12, lumbar L5, sacral 1 and coccygeal 1, right? This is a cervical vertebrae. In cervical one is atlas vertebrae and another one is the in atlas and the axis vertebrae. Second one is the axis vertebrae. Fine. First one atlas ada, second one is the axis vertebrae ada, ಮತ್ತು second thoracic vertebrae ada, thoracic vertebrae, then lumbar vertebrae, sacrum vertebrae, coccygeal vertebrae. Fine. Then functions. So next comes the sternum. So again here sternum, it is flat, narrow and elongated bone of chest. Sternum ಏನದ, it is flat, narrow and elongated bone of chest. It is commonly called as breastbone. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು, breast bone ಅಂತಾನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Fine. Sternum ಏನು, it is a flat, narrow, elongated bone of chest and it's also called as chest breastbone ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ sternum ಈಗ. It is absent in fish, turtle, then associated with pectoral girdle in amphibia. Sternum ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಫಿಶಸ್ನಾಗ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಆಬ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಟರ್ಟಲ್ಸ್ನಾಗೂ ಆಬ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಪೆಕ್ಟೋರಲ್ ಗರ್ಡಲ್ ಇನ್ ಆಂಫಿಬಿಯನ್ಸ್ನಾಗ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸರ್ವೈಕಲ್ ಮೆನಿಬ್ರಮ್, ಪೆರಿಸ್ಟರ್ನಮ್, ಮಿಸೋಸ್ಟರ್ನಮ್, ಸಿಫಾನಾಯ್ಡ್ process, that is metasternum. 3 different parts are there, so we'll see one by one that later. Then the sternum has 2 functions. One, it takes part in the formation of protective thoracic basket. first ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, it will help in the formation of protective thoracic basket. Then second one, it plays a important role in the respiratory mechanism. respiration ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನದ ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಅದ. ಸ್ಟರ್ನಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಕರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಬಾರ್ಸ್. ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಬಾರ್ಸ್ which are movable and articulate with thoracic vertebrae at the back and with the sternum in the front. At the back with the sternum in the front, and all collectively it form a bony cage. It is a thoracic basket. Complete the form of the thoracic cage. This. Okay. So there are 12 pairs of ribs, and each rib is a thin flat bone which is connected dorsally to the vertebral column and ventrally to the sternum. So ribs nage ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದಾವ, 12 pairs of ribs ಇದಾವ, ಹೌದಾ. ಸೊ each ribs it is a thin flat bone and it is connected dorsally to the vertebral column. dorsally ಇದು vertebral column ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತದ ಮತ್ತು ventrally ಮುಂದಿನ ಸೈಡ್ sternum ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತದ, ಹೌದಾ. and it has two articulation surfaces. It has two articulation surfaces on its dorsal end, and hence it is called as bicephalic. Okay, it is called as bicephalic. So we'll see what are the different types of ribs. So first 7 pair of ribs which are attached to the thoracic vertebrae and ventrally connected to the sternum with the help of hyaline cartilage, which is called as true ribs. First 7 pair of ribs ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಟ್ರೂ ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಟೋಟಲಿ ರಿಬ್ಸ್ನಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರ್ತಾವ, 12 pairs of ribs ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಹೌದಾ. ಸೊ ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಾವ, ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಜನರಲಿ flat, it is connected dorsally, it is connected to the vertebral column and ventrally to the sternum. ಎರಡು ಸೈಡು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಿರ್ತದೆ. See, dorsally it is connected to the vertebral column and ventrally to the sternum. ಇದು sternum ಅದ, ಹೌದಾ. ಸೊ 12 pairs of ribs ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟು 7 pair ribs ಈಗ ಟ್ರೂ ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾರೆ. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7th pair ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಇವು 7 pairs of ribs ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಟ್ರೂ ರಿಬ್ಸ್. They are commonly known as true ribs. Okay. Okay, first 7 pairs of ribs which are attached to the thoracic vertebrae and ventrally connected to the sternum. First they are attached to thoracic vertebrae and the ventrally connected to the sternum with the help of hyaline cartilage. Generally they are connected by the hyaline cartilage. So they are commonly called as true ribs. 1 to 7 pairs ಈಗ true ribs ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Next 8, 9, 10th pair of ribs, they are not articulate, so directly to the sternum, but join the 7th rib with the help of hyaline cartilage. They are commonly called as vertebrochondrial false ribs ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಈ 3 ribs ಏನಂತವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ 7th ribಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಿರ್ತದೆ. ದೆನ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 3 pairs ಇವು ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Then last 2, that is 11th and 12th pair of ribs, they are not connected ventrally and therefore they are called as floating ribs. Fine. Then the thoracic vertebrae, ribs and sternum together they will form the rib cage. In the thoracic vertebrae, ribs ಮತ್ತು sternum ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಸೇರಿ ಏನಂತೀವಿ, rib cage ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So here you can see the different types of ribs. So 1 to 7 pair of ribs, they are commonly known as true ribs, and 8, 9, 10th they are called as false rib because they are attached directly to the 7th rib. Then 11th and 12th ribs, they are called as the floating ribs. 11th to 12th ribs ಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, floating ribs ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಹೌದಾ. So this is the structure of the ribs. Then thoracic vertebrae ಮತ್ತು sternum ಎರಡು together it will form the rib cage. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ rib cage ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ತಿಳಿತಾ. ಇದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಅದ. ಈ ಥರ ಇರ್ತವೆ ರಿಬ್ಸ್. Hope it is clear. Ribs. So here you can see again the clear detailed picture. Total number of ribs Fine. Now this last 12th and 11th and 12th, they are commonly known as floating ribs. Okay. Next we'll move on to the functions of ribs. So what are the functions of ribs? So ribs serve three important functions. They protect the heart, large blood vessels and lungs. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತದ? ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಮತ್ತು ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಲಂಗ್ಸಿಂಗು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ದೆನ್ ದೇ ಬೇರ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್. External and internal intercostal muscles. External and internal intercostal muscles are there. Then the lower two pair of ribs, that is 11th and 12th, they protect the kidney. ಕೆಳಗಿನ ಏನು ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವಿಲ್ಲ, ದಿಸ್ ಟು 11th and 12th, they will protect the kidney. Fine. So these are the important functions of ribs. Just you can have a glance once again. So what are the functions of ribs? Ribs, they protect the heart, blood vessels and lungs. Then they bear the respiratory muscles. Then the lower two pairs of ribs, generally they protect the kidney. Okay. So ribs, it's clear to you, ribs, sternum and the ribs, types of ribs. This is the function of ribs. And next comes the appendicular skeleton. Fine. So we'll see what are the types of bones which are present in the appendicular skeleton. Okay. So appendicular skeleton, it is made up of girdles, which is commonly known as pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. And limb bones, forelimbs and the hind limbs. Forelimbs bones ಮತ್ತು hind limb bones ಇರ್ತವೆ. Pectoral girdles ಮತ್ತು pelvic girdles, all these parts they comes under the appendicular skeleton. Fine. Then the pelvic and pectoral girdles supports hind limbs and the forelimbs respectively. The ಕೆಲಸ ಏನದ pelvic ಮತ್ತು pectoral girdle, generally it will provide the support to the hind limbs and forelimbs respectively. Fine. Then each girdle, it is formed by two halves. It is appendicular skeleton. It is consists of nearly 126 bones. So total appendicular skeleton, it is having how many bones? 126 bones. Okay. So 126 bones ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇದಾವ ಮತ್ತು ಅದ್ರ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನದ ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಅಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಏನು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ one is pectoral girdle and another one is the pelvic girdle. Then limb bones study ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. one is forelimb and ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು hind limbs. ಮತ್ತು pelvic ಮತ್ತು pectoral girdle, generally it supports hind limbs, forelimbs respectively. Then each girdle it is formed by two halves. So total number of bones which are present in the appendicular skeleton, it is 126 bones. Okay. So we'll see pectoral girdles and what are the bones which are present in the pectoral girdle first. So you can see this is a pectoral girdle, upper arm, frontal, it is a view of a pectoral girdle. So we'll see what are the bones present in the pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle means it is commonly called as shoulder part. Shoulder region ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತದೆ ನಮಗೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ shoulder region ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. This shoulder girdle, it consists of 4 bones. 2 clavicles and 2 scapulae. Fine. Clavicles or they are commonly called as collar bones. Clavicle or collar bones, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ collar bones ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರ. So clavicles or collar bones, generally it is a slender S-shaped bone that articulates with the manubrium of the sternum. It articulates with manubrium of the sternum. These are the clavicles. Sternum ಜೊತೆ ಇದು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಿರ್ತದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ಇದು ಶೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೂ ನಾವು ಪೆಕ್ಟೋರಲ್ ಗಾರ್ಡಲ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ದ ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದಿ ಸ್ಟರ್ನಮ್. ಕ್ಲಾವಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟರ್ನಮ್. ಕಾಲರ್ ಬೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದಿ which articulates with the sternum. Next is scapula. The scapula is a large triangular flat bone which is situated in the dorsal part of the thoracic between the second and the seventh ribs. The scapula is present in between this here it is scapula. Where it is present? Exactly, it is present in between the second and the seventh rib. In between the second and the seventh rib. The dorsal flat triangular body of scapula, it has a slightly elevated ridges which is called a spine, which projects as a flat and expanded processes called as acromion. Below the acromion, it is a depression called as glenoid cavity. A glenoid cavity will be present, then which articulates with the head of the humerus to form the shoulder joint. Fine, complete the fold shoulder joints aglikade help ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. Then coracoid process, it's a knob like inwardly bent fused scapula blade. Okay. So here you can see these are the clavicles, scapula, humerus, radius ulna. This bones will come next part. Fine. Okay. Pectoral girdle. Next comes the pelvic girdle. So pelvic girdle we'll discuss in the next class. So meanwhile, so we'll stop here only, because if you at a time all the concepts means it will be confusion for you. So meanwhile, just you can have a glance once all the slides. Okay, pectoral girdle. So in pectoral girdles, it is made up of 4 bones. Howda? So later on portion just you have to keep in mind the types of bones, how many present and total number of bones ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಹೆಸರು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ pectoral girdle, it is consisting of 4 bones, 2 clavicles and 2 scalpel. Clavicles are commonly called as collar bones. Appendicular skeleton ಒಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದು pectoral, pelvic ಮತ್ತು limbs. Functions of ribs, types of ribs. Okay. Fine. So what are ribs? Ribs are, they are the curved bars which are movable, articulate with the thoracic vertebrae. So again here these ribs generally 12 pairs they are. First 7 pairs of ribs they are called as true ribs. Then remaining 3 pairs they are known as false ribs, because they are directly connected to the 7th rib only. And the last 2 pairs they are called as the floating ribs. And you have to know the function also. The floating ribs generally they helps in giving the protection to the kidney. Fine. Then sternum. What is sternum? Or sternum, it is also called as backbone or the breastbone. Not backbone, breastbone it is. This is sacrum or coccix. Lumbar vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae, cervical vertebrae, so vertebral column, skull. So in the axial skeleton, firstly we have discussed with 2 parts. So today in this class we have discussed completely regarding the axial skeleton, right? So before axial skeleton I think we have completed with appendicular. So again in appendicular only one, that is pectoral girdle we have completed. So in axial skeleton it's majorly consists of 80 bones. Fine. So in axial we have completed with skull, then vertebral column, then sternum, then ribs. ಇಷ್ಟು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸೆಲ್ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿವಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಾಗ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸ್ಕಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಅದ ಸ್ಕಲ್ನೇನು 2 ಮೇನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವ. ಒಂದು ಕ್ರೇನಿಯಮ್ ಅದ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫೇಸ್ ಅದ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಸ್ಕಲ್ or it is generally it gives protection to the brain. Vertebral column, Okay. Then major types of skeletal muscle fibers, two types. One is white muscle fiber and the one is the red muscle fiber. Then skeletal system. So again here in this skeletal system we have studied three types again. One is internal skeletal system or exoskeletal system, external or exoskeletal, internal or endoskeletal, and the fluid based. So this is a mechanism of muscle contraction, or it is commonly known as sliding filament theory. So what happens in mechanism muscle contraction, just few highlight points I will say you. So here the thin filaments will slide over the thick filaments. So during sliding what happens here, the bridge, that is okay, so no problem. So remaining will complete in the next class. So meanwhile we'll stop here only. Fine. So